Puss, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm having a bit of a technical issue here, so bear with me for just a moment while I try and get my chat back on screen. But I guess we really don't need it, do we? Let me just leave the chat there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, it was a very, let's see here. Awesome. Great Spirit Hardwoods. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So, let's see. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. All right. So, appreciate you joining us there, Lick. I'm still getting things put away. I tore down everything, really, for Adepticon. I tore down my entire paint station, my entire stream station. Oh, and I just realized, let me do this real quick. Properties. Because you deserve to look at. Boom. More in my face. I'm so purty. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so I'm still kind of putting things away after the weekend that was DragonFall, and I had a blast. I met a lot of great mini painters with so much talent, so much information to give. Had an absolute blast. Set that light up there so we can see what we're doing. Yeah, so today my plans are I'm going to I've worked on this Doctor Who bust all weekend. Let's see if we can get a better shot of it. There it is. There we go. He now looks like a kidnapped victim, all bound and gagged. What we're going to do is we're going to take him and we're going to take this base, this pretty white base, and we're going to make this look like marble. That's first thing. And then I got two figures on my table that I kind of started up last week a little bit. We're going to work on Mysterio, and we're going to make it work on Carnage. We're going to get some nice painting done today. That's the goal, at least. So, let me get a few things set up and shuffled around, and we'll get things going. So I left DragonFall with a whole bunch more product and gear and stuff. Then I went in with, I left with a whole new wet palette. Not sure how I feel about it yet. Oh, I also left with a new sponsor. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. We're getting things set up with them, but yeah, I'm really excited about a sponsor. All right. Wow. I do know how to make a mess. All right. Let's take a couple of cheap-ass brushes here. We're going to get things set up. I know you expected a bit more from the stream just tuning in. I expect a bit more, but we'll get there. All right. Got this nifty little travel doodad for all my brushes, which I dig a lot. Got this for taking third place in the Brush Beast. Yay! Still can't believe that. I'm in shock still. Alright, so that's that. Let's go with my Da Vinci number 2 next. Da Vinci number 1. Yeah. Like a bit of puss. Nice. And of course I'm sitting here, didn't put 2 and 2 together. Sorry. That's a number 1. That's a number 0. Oh my. Look at what I did. Shame on me. I should have been paying more attention when I put that away. That's alright. I'll fix it. A little bit of conditioner, so wash it out real good. Condition it real good. It'll hang up real nice. Couple number 2s. Got a number 1. It's another number 1, fuller belly. All right. All of our brushes are back where they belong. Brush put us back where we belong, back where we belong. All right. So what else did I get? I've got some of this, got some new stuff here too. Very, very curious about. All right. Brush balm conditioner for all brush types. Works on acrylics, oils, pigments. Okay. We got brush balm cleaner and brush balm conditioner. There we go. That's what we got. We got some glass bead agitators from Mini Masterworks. We got some palette guard for wet palettes, prevents mold. Adds 16 drops per ounce of water on setup and 8 drops per ounce on top off. Don't know if I'll use that, but we'll see. I still have my favorite brush cleaner and conditioner right there. All right. Okay. And I won't walk away like I used to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get Doctor Who stuck up on a mount. Nice firm. Nice and firm. Alright, so before we get to work on these two, we're going to do some marbling on his base. We're going to break out the airbrush. All right, who's ready to do some airbrushing? I am. All right, back. Perfect. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to airbrush this black with some, a little bit of, actually no, you know what? We're going to just do the black. I got a couple of ideas of how we want to do this. So, to get things started, Model Air Black from Viejo is how we're going to start this. All right. Are we ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Ready, Freddy? All right. Grab my water down real quick. Grab my airbrush. Badger Patriot 105. My favorite airbrush. Hey, B-Pack, I'm doing good. How's your night going? Why am I not connected to chat here on my phone? Give me a moment here. How's your night going? Yeah, let me try this again. Apologies. All right, there we go. Now, so we're going to do a little bit of marbling on the base. This is the first time I've tried this technique, so I'm hoping everything goes well for us, right? I need to lock that down. Stand by for one quick second. Pink cam. White balance. Keeps adjusting the white balance on me. Alright, there we go. Every time I move my hand in and out, the white balance. Ha! So what kind of things do you typically paint? We're going to just put a couple of drops in there right now. Don't need a lot. That should be good. Small base, not much to paint here. I'm going to let this go. My compressor is set to 35 PSI if I open it all the way up. I've got this regulator right here that lets me control. I'm going to turn it down to probably about 20, 25. Kings of War, nice. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, guy with the beard who says that, no, that was someone else. Never mind. Alright, so. Well, I'm glad you found me tonight, and you decided to join me. Let me turn that up a little bit. Thing with the airbrush is just like... God, I gotta have something clogged up in there. The camo hoodie on. Alright, I remember you now. Yes, sir. Well, we got some awesome news then from DragonFall. Pretty soon, you're going to be able to get an Elric's discount on Elric's products from this show. That'll be awesome. I'm waiting. It's going to take about 2 weeks. They're going to send me a code that my viewers and listeners will be able to get a 10% discount on all their products. The great thing about Kings of War is it's minis agnostic, so you can do whatever the hell you want to with those. Gotta love that. It is minis agnostic, right? Alright. So what we got to do now, black is on there. We need to let that completely dry. Yeah, I can see that. Right, let me clean out my airbrush real quick. It's getting a lot of spattering there. Making me a little crazy. Alright, while that dries, run some airbrush cleaner through my airbrush real quick. Yeah. Luckily for me, 3D printing is not something I've decided to take on as a hobby yet. Not like I don't have enough hobbies that consume enough money, right? Between the painting and the building of the models and my woodworking. Okay. I spend a ton of money on my wife. Fortunately, I've got a very understanding wife, and she's got her expensive hobby too. With the she loves to garden, so I don't give her crap. She don't give me crap, and life is peachy. Ooh, that could be part of it. Something dried on my needle. Alright, so while that dries, and actually I'm going to let it cure, so we're going to let it sit for a good while. I don't want it, I'm going to try a technique that I've never tried before. Yeah, that I get. I get that completely. I'm going to try using dryer sheets to create a marbled base, but I need the base coat, I need that black to be completely dry, because the last thing I want to do is have the dryer sheets pull up any of the black paint. Because I'm going to go over this in 2 layers. I'm going to first go over it with a little bit of gold, and then I'm going to go over it with white in 2 distinct layers. That way, God, I hope I can pull this off. This is a gift for a friend. I'm gonna once I'm done with that, I'm gonna be able to take the whole thing. I'm gonna be able to varnish it and be done with it. All right, so let's see here. Come on. All right, my phone doesn't seem to want to turn, so let's do some painting, shall we? We're going to take Mr. Hartnell off of our handle. Yeah, I'm sure it has. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to work on Carnage here. Mr. Carnage, let's get that lined up there. Give you a nice shot of that. There we go. All right, so the goal with Mr. Carnage here. So I had a lot of fun painting him up. So, this was purely airbrush work so far. He started off with a base coat of Imperial Blue, which is really, really, really dark blue. that almost has a hint of purple in it. This is some really, really cool stuff. Oh, look at that. I just put black paint all over my dry palette. Awesome. So I started with the blue. I zenithal down with some white. And then the workup of the colors was scarlet red, dark vermilion, vermilion. So my next step with this guy, I think we're going to do the black. We're going to work on all these little bits of black all over him. All this little webbing. I'm going to grab a somewhat small paintbrush compared to what I usually use. Usually I do all my work with a number 2. I think for this, though, this is going to call for a number 1. Which, like I said, it's not a super small brush, but it is slightly smaller than what I'm used to. We're going matte black here. My favorite matte black from the Army Painter. I love this stuff. This is the best covering black. Grab a fresh paper towel. Let's get started, man. So, I assume you were there for the Kings of War tournament. How'd you end up doing in that? Glasses, before I even think. Highlighting. We will definitely get on to highlighting with this here in a little bit. But before I do, I want to lay down all of this black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with this black, and then I'm going to go back over this with a purple wash. I'm going to use purple because I want the red to feel like the black is almost bleeding into it. So I want it darker in those edges, but I don't want to use a black wash on the red. I want it to remain vibrant. You'll notice I'm using the side of my bristles. Oh, no you won't because you can't see my hands. Let's raise this up a little bit. And come from a little bit more of a downward angle, shall we? God bless America. All right. I apologize. Again, I tore everything apart for the stream. So now I've got to readjust. This weekend, I'm going to buy stuff to make a completely new rig. It's going to hang from my ceiling, and it's going to make this so much better and easier. All right. Perfect. Now my hand shouldn't get in the way. I'd take 4th. How big was the field? There we go. So you'll notice while I'm doing this, I'm using the side of my brush. All right, 4 out of 14. That is very respectable. I would take that any day. If you have any questions about anything I'm using, any techniques I'm using, any advice you want, that is why I am here. All right, so I'm going to tell you the same thing about brushes and paints. All right. Can you use a cheap-ass brush? Can you use cheap-ass paints and get good results? You absolutely can. It's more difficult. That's the key. Using I use Kolinsky Sable. Why? Because they make painting easier. I can get a super, super fine point. This is about as small as I ever go, except for eyeballs. I will occasionally go to my 0 for eyeballs, but I can do most everything with a 1 because of the point that I'm able to get on that brush. Kolinsky Sables hold more water in the belly. By holding more water in the belly, they keep the paint more fluid. By keeping the paint more fluid, it wants to flow off your brush more easily. Running off the brush is the wrong phrase, but you get the idea. You're loading your brush less frequently, the more moisture you have in the belly of your brush, and the easier it flows off. So, short answer, no, it doesn't matter. But you can make your life a lot easier by going ahead and investing. And here's the great thing, you don't even need a lot of them. You don't need a lot of Kolinsky Sable brushes. I have them because I keep buying more and more so I can try new brands. But honestly, a number 1 or a number 2 and a number 0. That's all you need. You can get away with just about anything. Now, if you take a look here, I have a jar full of cheap brushes. These are cheap synthetics, and I use these for various tasks where I don't mind them getting beat up. For this kind of detail work, I want something that's going to be a little bit more fine. I'm going to want to use the finer brushes. When I started painting, my first miniatures that I ever painted were painted with 75-cent paints. Okay, I can help you with an airbrush too, because that does not... I know everybody talks about Harder and Steenbeck. They talk about their infinities. They go with the Iwata Eclipse. Now, I've got 2 airbrushes, and I paid less for these 2 airbrushes than many people pay for 1. They're Badger. They're produced here in the States. They're produced in Chicago, in fact. Forest Park, I believe. I use the Badger Patriot 105. I use the Badger Sotar 2020. The 105 is set up with the large bore needle so that I can use it to prime my models. I use it for priming. I use it for base coats when I want just general coverage. Then my Patriot is set up with a 0.2 millimeter needle. That I use for detail work. That's what I used on Carnage here. Here, actually, I'll show you. On this guy, Mysterio, the cool thing about this was I was able to do the cloak and the suit and not spray over. I got some nice clean separation there. I love my Patriot. I love my Sotar. They are fantastic airbrushes that will do anything that their more expensive counterparts will do. Mr. Cassidy here is just going to give me fits. You can get you can get a Badger airbrush. You can get if you go with the Patriot 105, you can get them for about anywhere between $65 and $85 on sale. And that's great for general base coating, general blending. You're not going to do the finest work with it. You're not going to be Kenny Boucher out there, blowing highlights out on tiniest of models. But you're going to do a ton of work with it. It is your workhorse. But I'll tell you, until I got comfortable, until I knew that airbrushing was something I was going to do, I went online. There's a brand called Point Zero on Amazon. It's a Chinese Iwata knockoff. And I got for $85, I got a tank, which is the same tank that I still use. Not had an issue with it yet. Or not a tank, but a compressor. So I got a compressor, and I got 3 cheap-ass airbrushes for like $85. I learned how to take care of them. I learned how to clean them, how to break them down, how to pull them apart, how to put them back together. And then once I knew that that was something I was going to use, there's a tool I wanted to use for more than just priming and zenithal highlighting. Once I knew that, I went ahead and I bought the Badger. I haven't regretted it. Just like anything else in this hobby, right? You've got the initial cost, and then you've got all the little extras that you pick up here. You spend $15 on airbrush cleaner. You spend $30 on an airbrush maintenance kit. You spend $4 on wax to seal everything up. Seal all the joints on it. Just little things. They add up. Well, here's the great thing. The airbrush is a great tool for convenience, but it's not necessary. I mean, when I bought my airbrush, I initially bought it just to prime and zenithal. So I got away with the cheap-ass no-name airbrush for the longest time. I mean, the best way to figure out how to do all those things that you want to do, all those big ideas that you have with your models, is just try. There's so many great people on YouTube and Twitch who will give of their time and put out tutorials that will obviously help you. Hopefully I can help you a little bit. But there are so many guys out there that do so much. I watch the Miniature Maniac, Miniac Scott. Love his work. For the airbrush, none better than Kenny Boucher, man. Next level painting. Now this is probably a bad thing for me to tell you right now, but I believe he's streaming right now. I usually stream about the same time. And he's one of the most, he's a fantastic artist. Just a straight up artist to start. But man, the things he pulls off with an airbrush, shit, I've learned so much from him. Ha! 5 monitors. You got 2 and that's a lot. Kenny Boucher, next level painting, hitting you up on the literal best of all days. He cracks me up too, but he is one of the best artists, and he's an absolute wizard with an airbrush. If you want to learn how to airbrush, I mean, I'll teach you some stuff, but most of what I learned from Kenny. Oh, wow. All right. So we're getting all of those lines built in there. Getting all that black down. Getting all this laid in. Like I said, the next thing I want to do is I want to put a wash down. I want to use purple. I want to keep it dark. And then we'll come back in and we'll work on our highlights. All right. Just chugging along here. I know this is dead air, dead air. I need to be better about that. Just kind of move around the model, finding all these black tendrils, anything I can paint black, any place that it feels right. This is one of those things where I'm just kind of going with my gut. Got a little sloppy back here. I have to clean that up. Although I guess it's Carnage, so it doesn't look that horrible, huh? All right. Go back over here. Let's work our way around a little bit here. So did you happen to go and watch the Carnage movie? I'm very curious as to what other people thought of it. I know what my kid thought of it. He's 18. I'm very curious what other people think. Okay. So I thought they made Venom, his symbiote, too much, a little too wisecracky. A little bit too out there. The whole, oh, it's a red one. I don't know if we can beat him. That bothered me. I get the symbiote is its own character, especially in these movies. I think they just take it a little bit too far at times. That's the only thing. Other than that, I dug it. You know, the action was good. Can't complain about the action. You know what? I'm going to load up number 2. Okay. I should do is I should get some scarlet red out here right now to blend into these black fingers. see. Ooh. Alright, our friends over at Grognard Games threw us a nice little shout out. So I'm going to shout out them. Todd's going to be over here tomorrow. He's going to be live. We are going to be talking tomorrow about... I know we're definitely going to be talking about DragonFall. He went and saw Dune. I haven't seen it yet. Trying to decide if I'm going to go see it, maybe go see it this weekend at the theater, or if I'll just watch it on HBO. So you were asking about brushes earlier, right? Here's one thing that you cannot do with a cheap brush that's this big, is get it to come to this fine of a point and have this fine of control. So tomorrow night, we're going to talk about Dune. We're going to talk about DragonFall, horror movies and games. I'm definitely going to talk about the new Halloween. Joey and I have some thoughts on that. Make sure you come in and join us for that, too. Ba-ba-da-ba. All right. Now, once I'm done here, I'm going to show you something I did. I wanted to try something and not embarrass myself on stream. So I did work on Mysterio's helmet off stream because I had some ideas. Now, because they turned out so well, I'm really regretting that I didn't stream it while I was doing it. I got to show you the final result of this helmet here in a minute. Right now I'm just kind of going fast and loose. Trying to get all that black in along the feet, the legs, the arms. And now we're going to do the part that I am dreading the most, the face. Maybe I'll throw a little neon pink in there. Be like the comics. There we go. That's that side of the face. Now for this one. All right, I'll take that. All right, now that that black is all down, we're going to throw a purple wash on this. So let me find my purple tone. All right. Purple tone from the Army Painter. Love this stuff. The Army Painter washes are the best washes out there. Bar none. Alright, so one of the things I do when I don't want to change the base color, I want him to stay red. But I want that purple to suck up along the edges and really fall into all of the recesses. So I'm going to add a couple of drops of Quick Shade Wash Mixing Medium. I'm going to actually do it about 50-50. So I did 3 drops of the wash, so I'm going to do 3 drops of the wash thinner, the medium. And see, kind of transforms this a little bit, makes it a little bit milky, and that's okay. Now I'm going to squeeze some of this excess out of my brush, grab a little bit of moisture. And we're going to just go. And this is one of those few times I'm just going to... I'm going to just lay it on there thick. I'm going to let it be. On this guy's absolutely going to get a satin finish and not a dull coat. I want him to look shiny and gross. Now, I don't normally use this much wash anymore. I used to, but this mini just screams for it. I think I want to add a little bit of red to that. Put a little bit of red wash into that. Deepen that purple. There we go. That's what I want. So here's what we're gonna do. We grab this hair dryer. Let that sit there for a minute. Now I've got a whole big bunch of it just worked its way right in there. Right in there. And just sop up anything that's overkill at this point. Okay. Stand by. And that purple that we put down ties in with that blue quite nicely. I've added a little bit of red to that same wash. I'm going to give it one more pass, because I think we can do better. Going to kind of run around here. All right, so we're going to let this guy dry naturally here. Let the wash disperse. A little bit more naturally. And then we'll come back and we will re-highlight. We'll add the white to his eyes. We'll do his mouth. And then Mr. Casty, I believe, is just about done. We're going to let him just sit there for a few minutes. In the meantime, I'll show you a couple of things here. Actually, in the meantime, we can get started on our next level with Doctor Who. But first, I'm going to show you this. Look at that. Look at that. That is going to be Mysterio. That is Mysterio's helmet. That is a white base coat with an airbrush of fluorescent blue, golden, high flow, with a touch, just a touch of white back over the top of it. And then we put some fairy dust, which is the Army Painter's metallic medium, essentially. Lets you turn any color metallic. And then we put a metal varnish over the top. I think it looks spectacular. I'm completely chuffed, as our British friends might say. All right, so for Doctor Who, well, that's drying there. We're going to let him sit over there. All right, for Doctor Who. Here's what I need. I need dryer sheets that have been used. Kind of thin. I'm going to stretch them out. Or I'm going to rip it completely. You just want to kind of work the fibers, right? We want big fibrous spaces in this. I think that looks good. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to put it on our base. Let's figure it out. First things first, I'm going to have to pull this off of here. Okay. I think that'll be good. I need to go grab a rubber band. I will be right back. Had one sitting right in the other room. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this rubber band, we're going to twist it around. We're going to use that to hold this in place. All right, so we've got these nice, I'm going to stretch this out a little bit more. All right, so what we want to do now, I hope this works. Next step, we're going to take our gold, shake that through. Gonna put a couple of drops in the airbrush, and now we go to town. Why gold, you may ask? I'm glad you did. There's a lot of marble out there that's got gold streaks in it. That's what we're hoping to simulate here. Done. Literally, that's all it's going to take. All right, there's that. Done and done. All right, excellent. So we're going to let this dry. Actually, I'm going to take the hair dryer to it. All right. See how that gold did. Well, that is not as good as I'd hoped. Down there is okay. So let's show you this. Down there is okay. Around there is all right. But that's a little too much around the rest of that. So, all right. We're going to take our next one. So we're going to take our next sheet. We're just going to work it. We want to stretch it. We want these fibers to separate. We still want I wonder if I did this. Okay. I'm going to do this one side at a time, I think. So what I really need to do Alright, white. We want Blanco. Pure Blanco. Alright, let's see how this works, shall we? Alright, we're going to leave this alone. Actually, we're not going to leave it alone. We're going to hit it with the hairdryer. Alright, moment of truth. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. I am not mad about that at all. We got some nice marbling going on two sides. All right, let's do that one more time. Let's do these other two sides. So all we're going to do here, we're working this apart. Let me stay on camera. God, I need to get my new. I've got to get my new setups. All right. So all I'm doing is I'm just stretching this out and I'm working it out so that these fibers will do this. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? Once more with feeling. All right. Time to hit it with the hairdryer again. And let's see. Look at that. Look at that. All right, I love it. I love this. So now the last thing I need to do is hit right over the top. All right, last little bit here. Okay. Moment of truth. Look at that. All right, I'm calling that a success. A huge success. Huge. So now we're going to hit this with the hairdryer. Okay. Now we can undo the doctor. Look at that. Oh, I am so happy with that. All right. So now I'm going to paint the back here and the stand here. I'm going to do that by hand. I'm going to do that black. All right, almost done. Give me just another second. And we're going to clean out the airbrush and we're going to varnish him up, let him cure, and then take some pictures of him. We're going to do a satin finish on him through the airbrush. All right. Second coat. We are super, super flat back here. I think we're good. All right. We're going to seal them up now. Next level painting, Kenny Boucher. That is just spectacular. I'm leaving that as is. I'm hitting this with an airbrush or with a hairdryer in a moment. First, I need to clean out my airbrush. God bless America. Come on. What is catching me here? I see what's... No? Oh, that's catching. All right. God bless America. I need to fix this for my next stream. I swear to God. All right. That's that. All right. So now that he's done, let's get him varnished. I'm going to put on a glove for this. I'm going to put him back on his little stand here. All right. So now we need satin varnish. The midway point between gloss and matte. Perfect for putting a slight sheen on this. Which is exactly what I'm going for. Now I'm putting this through completely undiluted. This is going to pull everything together. And give it a very slight sheen to it. Which is what I want. I want this to look like polished stone. Operative word being polished. You notice I'm keeping the airbrush moving. I don't want it to pool and puddle and start to spider web. Alright, that should be good. Looks super, super wet now. That's okay. Because we're going to hit it with the hairdryer. Alright, so that satin varnish ended up much glossier in real life than I wanted it. So I'm going to knock it back with some matte varnish. And I'm not going to put it straight onto the model. I'm going to put it into some more satin varnish. What I've still got left over in my airbrush, which isn't much. I might not have shaken that well enough, because sometimes the flatteners settle. All varnish is the same except for flatteners, and they can settle in at the bottom of your paint, your varnish. And when they do, you end up with a pure gloss varnish, which is what I think happened here. So give me a second. We're going to go ahead and put a matte varnish over the top of this. Not a super heavy coat, but enough to knock this shine back. Because I want some sheen to it for sure. This is just way, way too much. I'm going to leave it alone on the base, but on the up here, the face, the bust itself, yeah, that's getting changed out here. Let's dry this out, see how we're doing, how we're looking. Oh my God. Let me dry this out real quick. All right. Okay. All right, that looks good. So now we're going to put some, let's do some, I think we're going to do copper. Do some hammered copper combined with a little bit of the metal colors copper. What do I want to do gold? Let's just do gold. Screw it. Screw it, gold it is. All right. So my gold recipe comes straight from Mr. Vince Venturella. 5 drops there. We're going to open up, put some gold pigment in there. And just a drop of surfactant, aka Floaid. Way too much. Way too much. Go ahead and mix that up, mix it in. Mix it up, mix it in. Let me begin. I came to win. Bet on me, that's a sin. Nice and super smooth. Grab our brush. Make it a number 2. All right, screwed that up, so let's try this again. All right, do this again. All right, let's try this again with a blend that will make Mr. Venturella proud of us. Okay, got our gold down. Beautiful. Gonna let that sit for a minute. Let that dry. And while it does, actually, you know what? I'll make it dry. There we go. a quick wash. Bring it down just a hair. Help that name pop. That is not dry yet. Well, shoot. Ain't that a bitch? Hello. Cover our mistakes. All right, one more time. So we'll hit that with some hair. Try washing this one more time. Okay, got that wash down on there, in all the right spots. And now we're just going to grab just a little bit of this gold. Going to come back in, brighten it up. Just around the edges and down the center. The wash just helps the name pop and helps warm it up a little bit. And there we go. Mr. William Hartnell, the first Doctor. I gotta go get some pictures of this before I can send him off. All right, next up. Ooh. Carnage. Damn. That looks pretty spectacular. We're going to brighten them up just a little bit in a couple of spots, then we're going to put the eyes on them. Now, I'm not looking to do, full body on this, full body highlight, I should say. Let me pull the doctor off of his. All right. Let's get Venom back up here, or Carnage back up here, I should say. There we go. All right, so we need a few colors here. We're going to need, I'm just going to grab some vermilion. And I don't know what this is from Reaper. And now we're just going to hit some highlights on these volumes. So there's that. Go. Open that up a bit. Let's see. There's some sort of sheen to that, almost like it's a metallic. I don't want to put a metallic on here, that's for damn sure. Alright, so vermilion, it will not, or that it will not be. Let's just put a little bit of dead white on our palette. And we'll mix that with the vermilion. Alright. So all I'm going to do, after I get my readers on. All right, here we go. All right. Just going through and hitting some highlights here. And throwing our brushes across the room. Because that's how we do. So this color should not be on a lot of this model. Just your upward facing volumes and edges. Kind of want to limit this because Carnage is not a very bright looking character, right? He's red and black. I'm just running across those highlights. We're trying to bring it up just a little bit on the tops. Trying to fill those volumes back out. Okay. So this vermilion was actually the highlight color that I put through the airbrush onto this model. So when we washed it, we kind of lost a little bit of it, right? We darkened it down, just trying to pull it all back up. But I don't want to pull it up everywhere. I want to keep it just so it focuses up top. It provides a highlight, right? I'm going to take a touch of this white and I'm going to mix it in. Don't want a lot. I don't want to turn this pink. And I'm going to shrink the space that I put this on just a little bit more. And I missed another mold line. So I could go through and I could do this on all of the tentacles as well. I don't think I want to. I might do some on the very highest points, but for the most part, I don't think... Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's highlight just a couple of them. We're going to do it real fast. I'm going to do it with quick slash as a color. We don't want this to look too nice and neat. I don't know what to do, but it makes me think. I won't let this build up inside of me. Every time I pull this collar out, I think about this song, because it's called Vermilion. I won't let this build up inside of me. Okay. All right, let's put some white on this bad boy, shall we? Do white inside the mouth. And we're going to put white in his eyes. That's one eye. Okay, touch up the black around those eyes. Okay. Now for the pièce de résistance. Because if I'm going for a comic accurate early Venom or Carnage, keep saying Venom because that's stupid ass movie. What color should the inside of his mouth be? I can tell you. Those earliest comics, those earliest appearances of one Mr. Cletus Cassidy, the inside of his mouth was neon pink. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. Put a drop of this on my palette. And when I say neon, whoo, this stuff is burn out your eyeballs. Neon. Now, this is a golden high flow. So it's designed to go through the airbrush. So it's probably going to take 2 coats to get us up to our full opacity on this. That's okay with me, though. Honestly, personally, I think that this was as far as they needed to take the symbiotes. You didn't need to go any further than Carnage. He was the perfect foil for Eddie and Peter both. I think once you started moving past him into all of the other symbiotes, I think it started getting a little silly. But that's just me. So look at that. We got us a nearly finished Carnage. We got us a finished bust. In fact, I'm going to leave the body of this alone. The only thing I'm going to do is the base on it now. So next time, it will be Mysterio. Till then, I appreciate you. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking again. It's going to be You Got Me Monologuing with Joey Pasquale, Todd, and myself. We're going to be talking about DragonFall, Halloween movies, horror movies in general, scary games, Dune, and whatever else comes to mind. So I appreciate you just stopping by. You guys have a great night. Take care.